Greetings, everyone. All three of you. we are we have quality over quantity today. Very good. Welcome to another Obvio Q&A. I'm going to double check so we can have people post questions on the dashboard there. So ask a question. Is a place to enter those, and then we can do chat, and particularly with a small group, we can raise hands. Cool. Okay, great. There's no questions posted, so that makes that easy. Kat was here nice and early. Have you got questions stored up, Kat?
So I duplicated, okay, we're having our event. Our event is Passion and Profit. And then, of course, the last minute, we're like, holy crap, we did. So Passion and Profit is like TVE.
Mm-hmm.
And then we were working so much about the TVE kind of thing that we forgot to develop everything for our version of Leap, which is Refine. So I went and took Passion and Profit and duplicated it because it was same coloring and all that kind of junk.
Okay.
But then when I went back to work on the second one that I duplicated, I went back to the first one, and everything that I was doing on the second one, it lost the first one. So I was like, whatever. So I started over again. So I
Okay.
didn't understand what happened there, but something happened, and I don't know what happened. But all I did was duplicate it, renamed it, and then I started working in the Refine. And then when I went
Mm-hmm.
back to the Passion of Profit, it looked just like Refine. I was like, no.
Hmm.
So I started over and it's going okay now, but I'm just letting you know that happened.
Yeah. Okay. Is it possible you had had them both open? Might have been switching between the tabs and didn't realize you're changing the original one.
No, sir.
It's not
I
possible.
was, well, anything is possible. The fact of the matter is, I was working only in one,
Okay.
but
Okay. We've
it's like the second one adopted with the first one. I mean, Grant, think about it. That doesn't make sense. I have A and I made another A.
mhm.
And then I'm over here working on A
On the new one.
on the new one.
You sure
So
it's a
I'm
new
working
one?
on it. Sir, okay, never mind. I know what you're saying, but I'm trying to talk
And
to
you
you. Okay.
no no no. Yeah.
So I was working on this one, the new one.
New one. Yep.
I didn't duplicate it again, but this one changed and looked just like this one. I didn't
Right.
duplicate this one again. So
Okay.
it doesn't make any sense what you're talking
Mhm.
about.
Uh, I hadn't started talking about anything. I
Well, your
we,
question was, are you sure? And it's like, I only
you are sure.
duplicated one time.
I'm
I
just
only
I'm just
duplicated one
checking.
time.
I
That's the
get it.
question. Answer.
Totally get it. All I when we I'll make a note of this. What it sounds like is so what you're saying your experience was is that you had two independent events, and yet they were both changing when you made edits. Is that what you're saying? Okay. So yeah, we haven't experienced that before, and that's not to say there's nothing that it's not possible, as in there could have been a bug or something. Um, once a an event is duplicated, it becomes its own entirely independent event. It's not tied back in any way to the original event. Um, and so, but yeah, there could be, but we'll keep an eye on it. We'll see if are you when you continue to make changes, are they appearing on both, or that's not happening now?
No, because what I finally did was I changed the template when I saw this happening and happening and happening. What I did was I went to the new one and I changed the template. When I changed the template, then it didn't copy both times.
Right.
I was using the same template on both of them because I
Okay.
thought, what's the big deal, right? What's the big
Sure.
deal?
Yep.
And it kept on doing what I'm telling you, it kept on doing it. And I thought, well, I'm going to try to change the template. Let's try that. And when I tried that, then it didn't keep on copying to both of them the same way when I
Okay.
changed the template.
I'm glad. I'm glad you found a solution that worked for you.
Yeah, I was
Um,
just going a little crazy for a while, but it finally worked after I changed the template.
yeah. Cool. Okay. Well, yeah, and that makes it super clear which one's which. um. Okay. Well, we'll keep an eye on that and see if that type of thing pops up again after duplicating. Um, and so you feel like you're in a good place now with the two separate events on Obvio. Is that working okay?
Is it working okay now?
Yeah, no, I just mean that your events you're happy with where you're at now for your event.
Yeah, I have a couple of questions, but I don't haven't articulated them very well because I haven't been in Obvio for a couple of days because of Mastery
Okay.
Day yesterday and stuff.
Yeah.
So let me get my question ready. But I just wanted to tell you that because that's wasted a lot of my time trying to figure out how to
Mm,
fix it. Thank you.
mm, okay. All right. Joan, hello there.
Hey, Grant, I have a quick
Hey,
question, hon. Can you please tell me, I hope this is the right place to ask this. In the through line, I have made two versions. And
hang on.
the first
Yeah,
one,
yeah. It's not, unfortunately. So we're talking about Ovio and not Obi. Sorry.
oh, crap. Okay, I
Yeah.
didn't know. I thought, well, I will hop on here and see if I get,
Fair
because
enough.
I'm trying to get it in the schedule to see, from taking it from a 3-day to a 90-minute, because I got a webinar coming up in 2 weeks.
Yeah, okay.
You can't
Well,
answer
look,
that question.
I I'll just check with Blue and if he's available to jump in, then he may be able to. But otherwise, yeah, it's a Friday
That's
open
okay. That's okay,
open
hon.
office hours. Yep.
I already submitted a question. I'll just wait till Friday. I
Okay.
didn't.
All right.
Okay,
Sorry,
thank you. Appreciate it.
it is confusing, but yes,
I'm
we
sorry.
prioritize that. That
I'm
don't be
new.
sorry.
Forgive
Don't be
me.
sorry. You
Okay.
come and work it out. That's all good. So yeah, Obvio about the platform for hosting the events. That's what this call is all about every week.
Okay. Okay. I understand
And the
now.
way
Okay.
we have confused it sometimes because particularly when Blue's here, he might answer a few OB questions just to
Okay.
just to confuse everyone. Um,
Okay.
so yeah, you've got that
Okay.
clear now.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Y'all have a
You're
great
welcome.
day. Okay.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right. Olivia, hello there.
I might be the same way, but since you guys are here, because I haven't been here for a while, I just wanted to know if whoever has attended Dean and Tony's Graciosi, I mean their AI event about the cloning, is it worthwhile to clone myself through them with $1,000 for 30 days? Just a personal opinion. I'm not going to hold you against it because here's the reason why. Why can't I just ask ChatGPT to help clone me instead of going through the whole 9 yard with them for 30 days?
So yeah, so it is a good question, and again, it is a great question for Friday, for Blue on Friday. These calls specifically are about Obvio and hosting events on the platform. I'm not sure we're going to have lots of Obvio questions today, so if anyone has any thoughts on what Olivia's asking, please share. But otherwise, it'll be a good question for Blue
Okay.
on Friday.
That's
Yeah.
good because the deadline is tonight. No worries. If you have not
Right.
attended,
Okay.
then you probably wouldn't know what to do. But thank you. I thought
I,
that if I can catch
yeah.
Blue right now, I can probably ask him because he was there the whole time, right?
Right. Um,
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I have I've got some thoughts on it, and I think that um I would say that from a coaching point of view, that you could probably say a similar thing about a personal trainer and say, I mean, I can just pump weights myself. I can do that the whole process myself, and I can do and I can eat well. Why do I need a personal trainer? Why would I do any of that? And we know the reason is a huge thing is accountability, and actually showing up and doing it. Another thing is to make sure you're doing it right, because if you're doing it wrong, then you're gonna get yourself in a mess.
Right.
And so why not learn from people that are way further down the track? And so yeah, I guess I would challenge your question about is that really the key thing to it?
Okay.
Because the way that we interact with AI is heavily swayed by the prompts that we give it.
Right.
And so by saying clone myself to ChatGPT, you may end up down a rabbit warren that's nothing like what would be helpful for you, you know. And so if nothing else, and I know I've got nothing to do with the system at all. I just watched some of it. But yeah, my takeaway was, if nothing else, they gave you specific prompts that will very, very specific prompts that would help you get to the end. Arguably, that would be worth $1,000. Okay. So that's my
Brent, that is super helpful. Your analogy clarified everything, and I really appreciate it. Thank you guys for your time.
No worries.
Okay.
Okay. So back to Obvio. Nancy?
Well, it's not an Obvio question, and it was for her.
Okay, right. Go ahead.
Blues told us to watch the AI program to, see the offer and everything like that, and study the structure of it all. So I really did that, and I had no idea my twin sister was watching. She never told me she signed up for it. And then at the very end, she goes, "Oh, I think I'm going to do that." So I wasn't going to, and she decided to. So then I came to the conclusion she likes me to train her up. So I'm going to be training my sister on the program. So it's 2 for 1, and we'll do the homework together. And this way, we'll all just be able to say Dean said, or whoever is teaching. So that's my take on it. She paid for it, so thank you. But I did have a question on, since I am so new, is Obvio then all the programs that are on Obvio right now, are they going to be moving to the new program?
Yeah, so there's so just confusion about Obi and Obvio. And I named Obvio and Blue named Obi. And I think he may even now concede that Obi was not the best name, as for the confusion. So Obvio, which is Latin for meeting, that's that's what it means. So it was like, here's a platform for meeting. That is the platform that runs the dashboards and specifically for events, right? And so Obvio includes a Zoom license to be able to run your events. So when it comes to doing like a 3-day event, an online event, that's where Obvio is really key. Doing maybe like a webinar or even your ongoing meetings, while some people do use Obvio for that, it's really not its main focus. Its main focus has been built around running 3-day events online. So that's what Obvio is. And that's what these Wednesday calls are specifically about. Now, we often, spin off into production questions and what microphone should I use and what camera do I use, and those sorts of things. We're happy to entertain those sorts of questions, and we geek out on some of those things. Obi is the AI help and assistant as part of the LEAP program, and really steps you through all of that. And Blue and Barry have really been creating the new version of that, and so there's confusion also in that to access Obi version 1, you would go into Obvio, which confused the whole thing even more, right? So now it's getting a little bit clearer now that Obi version 2 is off in its own place and has its own domain name and things. It's all separate, and so that's going to get clearer now. But that's basically where that's at now. So Obi for working through your LEAP program and asking all the questions and defining all of these things for you and using an AI tool to create that. That's what Obi is. Obvio is about your event delivery online, a dashboard system, and getting into Zoom. That's what Obvio is. Does that make sense?
Well, yeah, it does. And
a little bit
yesterday
more.
I was in the mastery class and he was going over Obi. So I had a second computer next to me and I said, well, I'll just practice along. And the next thing I know is I'm entering information that's going on his screen. And I said, no, let's have a session called Tooltips. And he goes, who put that in there? So I don't know. And I thought, I just put that in there. No wonder where it went. It didn't go on my screen. It went on his screen. So I don't know how that happened. After that, I kept my hands off. So I wasn't trying to change anything for him. I was just practicing and learning along the way. So I think he was a little like discombobulated when he saw that I had access to his Obi.
Right. Yeah.
So anyway, I don't know how that all worked either. I just
well, there's a little bit of building the boat at sea that's going on with Obi version 2, and it's kind of the world that we are in now.
Right.
That things are advancing so rapidly that's kind of a way to do it is to build it as you're using it. And so there's been a few crossed wires that have happened there, but I think Blue's text me saying that he'll pop in, and so we may get a couple of Obi.
I was just surprised I had so much power.
You're the true puppet master.
No, that's it. That's all.
No worries.
Thank you.
Oh, good. Great. Kim, hello there. Oh, you're just muted at the moment. I can hit unmute for you. There you go.
Okay, Grant Whitehead. That's you.
That's me.
Okay. At the end of October, which was all of 3 weeks ago, I joined the B&B crowd, and very ignorant to this organization, other than I did know what Obvio and Obi, the difference were those on the AI and the dashboard. However, I got to tell you what I didn't know, and I don't know you. And obviously, if you named one of them, you've been around for a while. So I take it you may have helped construct them. Did you help build? Okay. Just to let you know the level of ignorance that's coming in is I'm a Tony and Dean person. I'm part of the MBA, the Mastermind Business Academy, and did all his masteries. And of course, I've seen Barry, on stage. And I know Barry introduced them to their virtual setup.
Yeah.
I've got to tell you, it wasn't until I joined you guys or came to the TVE, which, by the way, I signed up with having no idea what I signed up for. It said Sage. I thought it was Sage Robbins. You know, I'm telling you, this is how much I did not know. And I know Barry, but I didn't think I'd sign up for anything of hers. And that's not
And
that's
now
not an
you're in lead.
insult. Oh my God, yes. And so pleased I am. That's why I'm telling you the background. This is
That's
such
great.
it's almost a God wink. You know, somebody put me in this path because I signed up about 2 or 3 months before it happened because I think it was delayed. And I kept getting these annoying emails. And I thought it was a free program. I said, I better check this out. I said, they are just bugging the hell out of me. So, and it wasn't Sage. And so anyway, I joined up. First time I'd ever seen Blue and saw Barry again. But what I'm trying to get across is the fact that I have been on many of your stages and had no idea that Barry and Blue designed and created Obvio. No idea. I thought they just gave them the concept.
Right.
So I'm here in a week. I find out not only are they just gave them the concept, because one thing Barry did say yesterday is when you're on somebody else's stage, you don't promote your own wagon. Well, she does not at all promote her own wagon. I had no idea that you guys created that. And then up until yesterday, I had no idea that not only are they using your system, that Barry still guides them on how to run it, Barry and Blue. So, and I'm not an idiot. I just got to tell you, I've been through a
Clearly.
lot of stuff. I've owned 4 businesses, and that's how much I didn't know prior to a week or two ago.
Right.
So, I do think there's a lot of people out there that if they knew this kind of background and what they really, really do, or what they're part of, it would be it's a gold mine. I love her gold mine process too. But the one thing I'd like to ask you is that if you don't mind, and maybe you've already said this because it took me a minute to find out even how to get on here because I was on the leap stage. I knew there was a meeting, but I went to the leap stage and I'm going, this is odd. So I went and looked and I said, okay, there's another stage.
Got another email. Yeah.
I don't know your background. I know
Sure.
this is supposed to be Obvio, but I'm trying to learn from the beginning. And
Yeah.
I'm not at Obvio stage yet. You know, I need a few more weeks of getting to that, or anything you can inform me about knowing my level of unknowing.
100%. Yeah, very happy. I'll give you a little bit of background, and that'll give you some context, because you kind of fallen into this thing, and then it's who are all the players and what are all the pieces that make it all work. So I'm happy to step through that. I just I just want to check if there's, and I will do that. I just want to check if there's any other questions, if anyone's sitting in here and they're like, I just have this thing I need to work out with Obvio.
Oh, please do. Yes, please do. That's what this is about.
My sense is that this week that there isn't any of those questions, and that people are hanging out to, you know, hear what they might learn about Obvio and find out what they don't know potentially. So I just want to make sure that's the case before I sort of dive into the Obvio story. Is everyone speak now, forever hold your peace? All right. So yeah, Kim, that it's really insightful actually, or helpful to just hear your perspective coming into all of this and not fully understanding what all the pieces are, and then of course who the people are. I think essentially what happened, I think you might have heard some of the story at TVE that Blue spoke about, but in fact, this being the 10th TVE, I think they probably spoke less about the story this time than they have in previous years. but the quick story is that when Blue and Barry, once COVID hit, they had to shift from all these in-person events to virtual. And Blue's idea, and I think is just inspired genius was the perspective of the host. And it was not so much about or not at the detriment of the audience, but he knew that if you can get the host comfortable and feel connected to the people online, then that's the basis of a great event. And in order to do that, he had this vision of lots of screens in front of him, being able to see all these faces. And so that people at home felt like they had a front row seat, and the host feels like they've also got a front row seat to all of the audience. And so how do you do that? At the time, people are doing Zoom calls with, maybe up to 300 people or so. It was kind of the understanding. And they had an event that they needed to convert in 2 weeks. It had about 400 registrations, in-person registrations. Well, very quickly, that turned into 1,200 registrations online, right? And so very quickly, they had to get something that was using multiple Zoom meetings because there wasn't enough space in one Zoom meeting to have everyone in it. And at the time, it was just, and really now as well, you can do webinar in Zoom. You can do a Zoom webinar where you can't see the audience, right?
Right.
And so right from the start, Blue was like, we have to see the audience. We have to see the faces. And so it had to be Zoom meeting. And then it had to have multiple Zoom meetings to get the number of people. So fundamentally, we needed a system that people could just click one button and be assigned to multiple meetings, one of the multiple Zoom meetings. And so there was a very basic WordPress thing that was happening, and they got it working just for this first event. The second event, meanwhile, Blue and I were connected through another online group that sort of sparked up on the 20th of March in 2020 as a Zoom meeting for production people that are in AV and event production. And we both joined this. We were speaking, both of us were speaking as panelists on this show, and that's how we connected. And we connected offline and we're sort of comparing notes on some little tools that we were using. And another genius of Blue and Barry with all of this was a thing called Tech Check, which was the idea, which you would have experienced through lots of the Robbins events, where you would go, when you first go to the dashboard, you go into a Zoom meeting with someone and you do a little check and you make sure everything's all working before you get assigned into the main room. And so all of that was genius as well, right? Because the very first experience you have is a human interaction, especially on large scale events, but works appropriately on small events as well. And so this was the thing that got us connected, where hey Blue, we've just been going through a couple of questions. We've filtered through some Obi questions and sort of explaining the difference between Obvio and Obi, and that I named Obvio and then you named Obi, and that's been a bit of a challenge in the connection of both of them. But what is helping is version 2 of Obi being not actually ran in Obvio, which also makes it a little bit easier. Anyway, Kim has just asked, like, who are you, Grant, and what are all these systems, and how is Obvio and all this? So I'm giving a little bit of backstory, and was also explaining that I think that TVE 10 probably was the first time that you didn't give a huge backstory, or the full backstory, of which made sense because lots of people have heard it. Anyway, so I'm just stepping through quickly, and then you can correct it. So so Kim, the thing was that tech check was so key. So we're talking about needing to be able to see the audience, having to have multiple meetings to be able to grow past 300, really, and be able to do lots of breakout rooms with small groups was another key thing. Tech check was a really key thing. It was a great function for people both having probably not used Zoom before, and wanting to know how that works, as well as, and the reason that we often still do tech check is the key thing is that human interaction. And it's like coming to the registration desk at an in-person event and feeling like, you've got some, welcoming process, and we talk about it even still doing tech check during your event sometimes if you have the team to be able to do it, which is kind of like walking them to the door and saying, hey, you've missed a little bit of this and that, but you're going to be good. And, here you go. And you kind of welcoming them in. The point is,
ingenious, actually.
Yeah, it totally is.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, 100%. And that's what I think the gallery view wall for the host to be able to see was pure genius. And the tech check was also genius. And so I said to Blue, hey, I know that you do tech check. I'm in Australia, which means if you wanted to do an overnight tech check, if you want to just do extended hours of tech check, I could do that during my day. I'll be perfectly happy doing that. And he said, oh yeah, what are you doing Tuesday? So I did tech check for a couple of nights on that, second, third event that we had. And in the process, I was like, hey, we could do this and this. I'd been playing around with Zoom APIs and, geeking out with a bunch of coding. What if we did this, this, and this, and this? And then it was like, yes. And so 5 years later, and multiple versions and things like that. And so Blue and I sort of created the version of Obvio that you see now. We created together. But it was really all that, the key genius that we're talking about from Blue and Barry of what they really needed, and the iteration of that it became the tool that it is. And so it sort of was, and in some ways still is, an in-house tool for Sage, Sage events. 5 years later, it never really has been fully public. And to your point, you've been going to all these, events that you now know were on Obvio, but you didn't really realize that they were, and nor that it was a tool that comes out of Sage. And so
not a clue, not a clue.
Yeah. And I think that also is a strength of it as well, in that it kind of is a whitelisted thing. And so it's fully customizable. So you would see, you go to a different event and you have to be quite shrewd in the way that you look at it to know that it was an Obvio event, because of how different those dashboards can look and the experience that you have. And so lots of people don't know, and they're going to completely different events, and they might both be on Obvio and not realize that they are Obvio. And so really the only way in, the obvious way in to using Obvio has been through Leap. And so most people have actually started using Obvio because of going through Leap. And so my journey has still been like Blue. I run events. I run online events, and reluctantly a few in-person events in Australia, and then keep a hand in Obvio as well. And so that's where that.
So you're a leaper. You're a leaper.
I'm not a leaper. No.
Oh, you're not. Okay.
No. So I haven't been in that process, although I've picked up a lot along the way. But that's, and so really probably I don't know, maybe 3.5 years, 4 years ago, we started doing these weekly calls as just an opportunity for people to come and ask questions and work out, how they get their CRM connected to Obvio, and how they launch Zoom, and what's the process of doing that, and all of that. And so to your point, and I know that Blue has stressed this particularly with new leapers that have come in, there's so much that can be overwhelming, and particularly it feels like Blue and Barry have dialed up the speed on some of the leap program as well. Obvio generally will take a little bit of a back seat until you've got everything sort of worked out. You know exactly what you're doing. You've got your event dates worked out. And then it comes in when you're like, okay, now I know exactly what I'm doing. I've got the dates. Now I need my dashboard. As part of the leap program, you get that first dashboard built for you. And then you just kind of, you grow with it. There's a whole bunch of things that are advanced features in Obvio. And the encouragement always is that, as I said before, it shines on a 3-day event. A 3-day online event is really where Obvio is its sweet spot. Some people are using it for one-on-one meetings and for weekly webinars or whatever, and it can be used for that. But it's designed, and it's kind of that sweet spot is really that 3-day event. And makes a lot of sense then to to use it when you're ready for that sort of 3-day event. Does that fill in some of the blanks, Kim?
Very much so, and I do appreciate it. I will probably still sneak in on these in the background, just because when I hear questions, I learn a little bit more, and I appreciate the deep dive on the history, because I have used Obvio. I can't tell you how many times I've been through Ultimate Mastery, right? I've used it. I know your dashboard. I mean, the resources and the speakers and the different pages. I still keep all those icons on the old ones, like RPM or whatever, because if I want to go back and see those resources, I can still sneak into that dashboard, right? So I do know it from a consumer point of view. I had no clue that Blue and Berry developed that, and you or whoever, right? Sage, let's say Sage, right?
Sure.
That developed that. I really thought it was a Zoom product. For some reason, I just thought it was a Zoom product, and then somebody got fancy. So it's nice to know that.
Well, it could be a Zoom product. We'll be happy to sell it to them. That's fine.
Well, it could be, right?
But yes,
if they knew. So
Zoom events, is a platform you can run events through Zoom, and there's lots of cool little tools and things for it. A big thing for us is that we really wanted a very frictionless way of getting from your email into Zoom. We didn't want people to have to put in passwords and email addresses and be logged into Zoom and all of this. We didn't want any of that. We just wanted click a button, click and see the dashboard, a whole bunch of content. Because the other thing is, when people join it out of hours, which inevitably you do because you've got a global audience, people are going to join, they don't know what time it is and they get all confused. We don't want them just to say meeting has not started yet, waiting for host to start meeting. What a terrible experience, right? We didn't want just that normal Zoom experience. We wanted a friendly, engaging, brand aligned experience that you see. And now it's really clear. Oh, the event starts in, it's counting down. It starts in 4 hours or whatever it is. We wanted that. We wanted a place where they have resources. And so then it becomes a home for your event for before, during, and after. And so that's why we had to build something, because we didn't feel like anything existed quite like that. So,
and still doesn't, that I've seen. It's like having a ballroom for a virtual event. You have a front door, you have greeters, you have a place for references. It's very well laid out. So I describe it in the last couple of weeks. I have realized I've met the Oz behind the curtain, because I just, now getting to know that not only did they Tony gives the same history that Barry does, that this is how he got started with virtual. And that's how he introduces Barry on his stage usually. And
Yeah.
so I knew they introduced it to this big virtual event thing. I did not
He
know
often
they did all this.
he often gives more credit to Zoom than he is due, but Zoom did very little with us, but they did a little bit, but not a lot. You know, we had to work it all out ourselves to be able to make that, you know, one of those first 26,000 people event. Zoom wasn't really helping us with that. We had to work
I'm
that
sure
out.
I'm sure they had nothing to do with it now. I mean, I just all I knew was Zoom, right? And then
Right.
Tony had this big stage, so Tony made Zoom bigger than, you know, God. I did not realize that, you know, it was. So it's really nice. I really appreciate you taking the time for me and
No problem.
answering those questions. And I hope I didn't take away from the technical part. And soon I will be asking you real questions. So
No problems. Yeah. And everyone are welcome to join these calls. As you say, like, you don't have to track everything that everyone's saying, but often it just captures something. Oh, I didn't realize it did that. And you don't have to then remember how to do it, but just knowing that it can do it is actually really powerful. And so you just store that away that I know it can do that. And when it's time, I'll ask how to make it happen. And so, yeah, you're very welcome to come to these calls and pick up whatever you can. So it's great to meet you, Kim.
thank you, Grant. Appreciate it.
No problems. All right. I wonder if no, I think Joan. So Blue Joan jumped on and she was asking some Obi stuff, and I just said, well, I can reach out to Blue and see if he can come in, because it didn't look like there was a lot of Obvio specific questions this week. And so that's why, but she ran away. She got scared. She got thrown when I started explaining the difference between Obvio and Obi. So
all good.
All right. So any other Obvio questions? No. I don't know if Olivia was on as well. I think she's gone too. Olivia was asking about the AI advantage, and why would I do that? Why wouldn't I just ask ChatGPT to create a clone? So that was a off-topic question as well, but it was interesting. And so I said you could say the same about a personal trainer. I can just do that at home. Why would I get a coach?
I just wanted to quote Barry, who says we pay for speed.
There you go.
That's what she says constantly.
That's right. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, and in terms of I don't know that there actually is an answer here, and I don't think I see Olivia here anymore, but why would you pay,
she's not.
you know, AI Advantage for their product that helps you create a clone? Not all that dissimilar from Obi as a product. They have some very detailed templated questions that help you train ChatGPT to think and sound more like you, is really what it boils down to. And most of us don't have, most of us don't know the right questions to ask. And this actually is not any different than, people saying for the longest time, I don't know why I would pay somebody for that. This information is free on the internet.
Right.
And you're not wrong, but good luck finding it.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, is it there? Yeah, absolutely. There's very little that you can't learn if you look hard enough on the internet, like almost nothing. The problem is you have to sift through all the baloney that isn't accurate.
Well done.
You're welcome. I thought about you as I did that. You have to sift through all of the stuff that isn't real, find the stuff that is, and make sure that you're putting it through a filter that's intelligent enough to actually know what's real and what isn't. Right? So that's the biggest problem with the internet. Incidentally, that's also the biggest problem with ChatGPT.
Yeah.
So, you know,
which
somebody
which learns everything from the internet.
exactly.
So, right? Yeah.
Somebody said this to me recently, and it like helped me really understand what AI is in its current form better than anything I've heard. And that is that AI is two things, like ChatGPT or Claude or whatever, Grok. They're two things. Number one, pattern recognition tools, like really super advanced pattern recognition tools. And number two, predictive engines as to what's next. And when I say what's next, I mean, as you're typing the next character, that's what they're really good at. The problem, like what Grant just said, is the knowledge that they have, the patterns that they are trained on are everything that's on the internet, because that's what we have access to. And that means the good and the bad. It doesn't know what's not right on the internet. It just knows what is. It's also the same reason somebody was telling me this recently as I've been getting into coding with AI or vibe coding. ChatGPT and Claude aren't just trained on good code, they're trained on all code, right? So, you know, they're not just, you know, or to use our wonderful developers here at Obvio as an example, they're not just trained on Mike's code, they're also trained on Grant's code. And that's a problem, right? If AI was only trained on the best code, then we'd be it would be really, really cool, but it's not. So, yeah, predictive engines are, you know, can only predict what they know and patterns that they've seen. And that's what AI is. So with that being said, if you don't know the right questions to ask, it's going to be harder and harder for it to do. So I think there's something incredibly valuable to what Dean and Tony put together with the AI Advantage. I think they called it the boot camp, to the point where, believe it or not, you guys are going to be shocked by this, but I bought it for Barry. And I bought it for Barry mostly because, you know, if I went to Dean or somebody on the team, I could probably say, hey, could I get a copy of that for Barry? But at the same time, you know what Dean never does when he comes to Barry and I for work or to help him? He never says, hey, could I get some of your knowledge for free?
Yeah.
So we paid for a course that I'm sure I could probably get for free. I'm sure I probably have access to it, to be honest with you, already. But I think it's something that's really valuable and structured really nicely for Barry to get her version of ChatGPT to do what my version of ChatGPT has learned over the course of the last 2 years, right?
Yeah.
Because it took me a couple of years to get ChatGPT to speak and talk like me, just by constantly using it. This just shortcuts the process to, you know, to Valerie's point. If you know exactly what to input and what questions to have it ask you, it's really easy to train it to start to sound and talk like you. And I can say that, and you can then go Google that or Chat GPT it, but who knows if it's right.
Yeah, the context is really the key part, and I think that pre-prompting is really what I think about as the key. And because often you hear this sometimes, like you start telling ChatGPT sort of like, you are a web developer, or you are an ads manager, you know, like a search optimization wizard. You know, that's a pre-prompt in my mind. And the better that pre-prompt is, the better that once you put in what you're actually asking for, the better the result is. And so if people have gone ahead and created some amazing pre-prompts, that's going to make a massive difference and shortcut the whole process.
Yeah. It's no different than what Barry and I have done with Obi, right? I mean, we have essentially primed ChatGPT to ask you exactly the right questions, and then on the back end, ask it exactly the right questions with your context, with your information, in order to get a really good result. You could get the exact same result if you just logged into ChatGPT, but you would have to know what questions to answer, like what context to give it, what information about you to give it, and then you'd have to know exactly what question to ask and how. So could you do it by yourself? Yep, absolutely. But it would probably take you a lot longer to get a similar response, right? And a similar result. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Melanie,
it's funny, Grant, I have never used the word context so many times in my life. Like the last, I feel like the last 6 months, context is like the word of the year. If it's not, it should be.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
yeah.
It is like, how many times did you use the word context? Like before AI?
In context?
In context? I think you took that a little out of context. Like maybe those were the only ways you used it, right? I use that stupid word 10 times a day now.
And AI you use 50 times a day.
Yeah.
Melanie had a question and then ran away.
Well, that makes sense.
You're muted, Mel. Unless you don't want to anymore. She's got a great studio, but she's using her phone. Do you want me to unmute it?
Oh, stop.
There we go. Got it.
Okay. Thank you, guys. I have my
feel like we
studio,
heard
but
that.
I can't use my phone.
Son of a.
Hey, Blue. If I've been warming up my Chat GPT for a couple years and it's really doing well, and now I'm using Obi, do you still think the new program from Dean and Tony will be worthwhile?
I thought that how they posed the questions to start to get a solid, let's just call it digital DNA for ChatGPT to reference was really solidly thought out. Because I have seen it. I've seen the course.
Okay.
I thought it was really well thought out.
Okay. I mean, for $1,000, I'll do it.
I mean,
any improvement
yeah,
is awesome.
Listen, I'm not going to suggest to you that I won't tell you that you're going to see a change because I haven't done it. I haven't tried it.
Mhm.
Right. And with that being said, I have seen I think it's 4 or 5 sessions that you get, like weekly sessions over the course of the boot camp, right?
Yeah.
And I've seen the prompts and the context that they're going to have you answer and submit into ChatGPT to create this digital DNA. And I think Igor's a really interesting character. I spent a good amount of time with him last week.
I did see his speech. So yeah.
And he's the one who's running it, right? He's the one who's behind the majority of this, with of course input from Dean and Tony, but it's a lot of his IP. And he's been spending a lot more time with AI than any of the rest of us, almost guaranteed. Yeah.
Okay.
In fact, I'm still not entirely convinced he's real. I mean, he may himself be AI. It's entirely possible.
Yeah. From what I saw. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. And I'm joking. He was there in person.
I know that.
But did you shake his hand?
I did. Twice.
Okay.
Just to make sure.
Was it hologram?
Yep. Yeah. I actually gave him a high five as well, thinking maybe I'd go right through the hand. That didn't happen. It stopped. It was physical. It was like, oh, there it is. Yep, you're real.
There was is it Sonia? Is it Sonia? Is that her name?
Sabrina.
Sabrina, thank you.
Yeah.
I thought she was awesome too. I thought that there was, it's something about mindset as well, right? If it was just a product, then you might be on the fence as to whether to just get those prompts and whatever. But hearing people that are actually doing it day in day out and have done it is that's the shortcut. Massive shortcut.
And Sabrina's an interesting one. She's somebody. So there, Barry worked with almost every single person who spoke on that stage. Actually, I say almost. Barry worked with every single person who spoke on that stage. And the big thing that she needed to do, because they're all really smart, is she needed to help them recraft their presentation so that it was approachable. Like the first version of Sabrina's talk that I saw was like up here. Like I barely understood some of the stuff, and I'm not like patting myself on the back too much there, but like it was above the the understanding of most of our audiences. And it's because she herself has a high-end audience, right? She's a coder, you know, most of her content is vibe coding. And you know, I've actually watched her like on a live stream with a coding partner sit there and actually like code in real time, and I'm like, okay, you're actually really good at this, and you know what you're doing, and you actually know how to code, so you're cheating just a little bit.
Yeah, that's right. Talk about context.
Yeah, exactly. So it was funny to watch her and Barry behind the scenes in the green room the day of her talk, because she was so proud of how she made it simple. And Barry read like the first 2 slides and she's like, Sabrina, I'm your right fit client. I don't know what this means. Like, I have no idea. And she's like, really? I'm like, and Barry's like, yeah, none. So tell me what it means in English. Like talk to me like I have no idea what AI is and I've never logged into ChatGPT. And she did, and she's like, okay, that's closer, but you have to now take that and simplify it even more. And so it was, you know, what was really unique about that is I saw her on a live stream that she did that day, kind of talking. She's interesting. She's just such an interesting character. And she's like, yeah, it was weird because like, it's like on some level they weren't now she's talking to her audience, right? She's like, on some level, the people that were there just weren't my people. So I didn't know how to talk to them and I didn't know how to connect, and I wasn't sure if it was going to. So anyway, it was fascinating. I see a couple hands raised. I could talk shit about this for a while. Let's stop.
Nancy?
Yeah, speaking of AI, as I'm working on my high ticket offer and kind of designing what I want to do, there's a lot of writing assignments in there, and I'm wondering if we can create our own OB, or will we be shipping our people to chat? Did I go bad?
No, I heard it. I'm trying to understand what you're saying. So when you say,
Well,
when you say that, ask me that question one more time, Nancy.
Well, as I was working on the assignments last night for week 3 for OB,
right,
I said, well, this is exactly how I would like to have my clients answer the questions that they can answer. You know, they'll tell their twin story, if you will. That's what I'm working with. And I have done my twin story through chat. But I thought, wouldn't it be nice to have the high ticket people be able to work with their own OB?
Got it. Yeah. Okay.
Inside.
So let me no, I think I understand what you're asking now. Let me answer the question in the most vague way that I possibly can.
Sounds great.
OB as a platform, right? So you guys, we've started calling OB 2.0 that Leap members are using. We've started calling it the Leap AI Hub. I don't know if you've kind of noticed that, but we're slowly kind of inching away from the word OB for Leap members.
Good.
Because, and the reason for that is because OB, if we keep, there is going to become confusion, because the SaaS platform that we're building, that the Leap AI Hub is built on top of, is called OB. So if we call the platform OB, and then we call your AI hub that you're accessing for Leap OB, and then you say, hey, could I get an OB for my OB people? And now we're all like, what the F is anybody talking about? Nobody can understand a thing. But
let's go to Obvio and talk about that.
Yeah, exactly. Which that's helpful. Thanks. So then, and actually, I blame Tyler. Tyler's actually the one who named OB, not me.
Okay.
But yeah, I have 2 platforms, neither of which I named. But what we're planning on doing, Nancy, is Obie as a platform, the SaaS application, is going to be something that is accessible to Leap members. So you are going to be able to, as a Leap member, get access to Obie, build your own AI hub inside of the platform, and give your high ticket or low ticket clients access to it. Yeah, that is something that's, you know, it's something that we've decided to do. We haven't widely talked about it. I think I've talked about it on a couple of calls. And we definitely didn't talk about it at TVE this past week, because Obie as a platform technically doesn't actually exist, right? Like, it does, but it's not something you can log into today and start using for your clients. And it's at least 3 to 4 months away from that. So we're working on it. But you know, sometime in hopefully early, maybe mid 2026, you'll see access to that platform.
I definitely want to use AI technology in what I'm offering.
I think that most coaches and consultants, like, my personal belief is, as a coach and consultant, if you're not using AI to help your clients move further faster, you're not going to be a coach or consultant for very long.
Well, the point is that you're competing with people that are.
That's what I mean. Yeah. And you can't, right? It's like, as a bicycle, I can't enter a car race. Like, it's just not possible.
Right.
And I don't mean a motorcycle. I mean an actual bicycle.
What about a one wheel?
Sure. One wheel too, you know, or a skateboard. It's just not happening.
Yeah,
So
fair enough.
there you go.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you.
David.
I have a couple of tech questions, and I don't know if there's some other Obie questions that you'd like to address first. Can I go ahead and ask?
I don't think we haven't had one Obvio question on this call, so all good.
Okay, there's a couple, looks like.
Dr. Jill has one.
Mine's actually a quick one. Okay, so here's the deal. With the Elgato teleprompter, I'm using an iPhone for my camera. So I've got the Apple AV adapter coming out of it and other stuff. The small tripods that I've been using aren't sufficiently stable. I'm doing a lot of teaching and demonstrating, so it's registering too much vibration. It has a tendency to sort of, the cables coming off the AV adapter are kind of dragging the teleprompter on the tripod. So I need your recommendation for a not $500, but you know, maybe under $200 solid tripod with a, you know, like pan swivel head that can accommodate, you know, the weight of this device. And so I use two formats. One is a standing demonstration type thing, so I need a, you know, freestanding tripod, and the other is a desk setup like I'm at right now. So having the ability to mount the Elgato teleprompter on either of those contexts. So I need either a recommendation or both. Recommendation for a table mount for this. I know Elgato's got some kind of like rod type clamp thing that works for desks, or a tripod that's sufficiently weighted that it's not going to, you know, bounce around when I'm doing demonstration.
If you're putting
anything you can suggest in those areas.
Yeah, I'll start with this. If you're putting the tripod on the same table that you lean on or type on, it doesn't matter how big the tripod is or how strong the type of tripod is. I can give you a $7,000 tripod and you're going to have the same problem. It's still going to vibrate. So I have the exact same setup that you're talking about, right? I've got a Elgato prompter right in front of me, and the table that I'm leaning on is not the same table that the prompter is on, right? And if I lean on the prompter table, it shakes. And it's on a $700 tripod, if that makes you feel any better. It shouldn't be. There's no reason for it. I just happen to have had it, and I don't, for some reason, use this particular tripod, and it was the right size, so I've got it. On Barry's desk, I think we have a $60 tripod that I just put on for her. It's one of the higher end Joby, how do you say that? The JOBY tripods, the Gorilla Pods. It's one of the higher end ones, right? So it has a ball head on the top of it, and it works great. Now, if she shakes her desk too much, it's, the vibration goes all the way through and it's going to feel it. But so you have two options. One, be okay with it. Or two, put the tripod on the ground, just on the other side of the desk, and don't attach it to the desk. And that's probably the answer. The problem with that is these screens, the nice things about these Elgato prompters is also the downside, which is they're not that big. So the farther away you put it, the less useful it is the way we're using it, which is as another monitor. So I don't know if that helps you.
I'm getting that if you have it anchored to something that's not the thing that you're tapping on, causing vibrations, that's an advantage. Yeah, the second thing that I was talking about was a standing tripod, but it was just insufficiently weighted. And so even, on a hardwood floor, any kind of step vibration, et cetera, I would see it registering vibration in the camera image.
I mean, the Elgato prompter that I have, that Barry's is on. Let's see. I don't know if this will actually work. So you guys see my camera, right? All right. I'm gonna not talk for a second. I'm gonna walk away from my desk. I don't know if this will work.
What are you doing? Yeah.
You guys see that?
Yep, it worked.
That's a lovely surprise. So that's what Barry has. That's like a $50 Joby prompter, or Joby. Maybe it's the $60 or $70 one. It is the one with the ball head. So I know it's a little bit more expensive, but it's under $100 for sure. And the key to it is it's balanced. In that particular case, you just have to choose the right screw hole to get it properly balanced. I think the one that I'm using is the 3K. I think that's the 3K. Just looking at it online right now, it's either the 3K or it's the 5K. The 5K is $129, but I have a sneaking suspicion that's the slightly cheaper one, which is $60.
So we'll get to some other questions, but David, I want to just give you not necessarily a complete answer, but something else to consider. And that is the main reason for tripods is their portability, right? It's like you can collapse them and go set them up somewhere else, and away you go, right? So that's why they're light. They're collapsible, all of that, which is a trade-off of the stability sometimes, particularly with cheaper tripods. To me, it doesn't sound like you actually need a tripod. You just need rigging or mounting that can mount securely your the camera setup. And so think a little bit, more laterally about other things that you could mount it on, because you can get different sorts of mounts that you can mount the camera on. And if you've got problems with the floor, this might sound extreme, but you could even mount from the ceiling. You can do all sorts of different ways of doing it, right? And just something to look at that could help you in this process is a thing called Maker Pipe. Maker Pipe is a series of connectors and joiners that you can use with water pipe. You can go and buy the pipe from Home Depot or whatever, and then you have all these really cool connectors. And so you can see that people have done this sort of setup, right, where they can build really cool rigging for actually pretty cheap compared to what some of this stuff would normally cost, because you're just buying the connectors, and then you use like strong water pipe that you can get, water pipe or whatever. It's also like electrical pipe or whatever, right, that you get, but it's pretty cheap from the hardware store. So that's just one thought around that, doing something different other than a camera, than a tripod setup. But I was going to say the same thing as Blue. Get it off your desk. But if you've got a problem with the floor, you can also think about putting it on rubber feet. Hardware store also has like that you can put under a dryer or washing machine. You put the big thick pad of rubber, stick that under all the feet, and that's just going to absorb some of the floor movement. So yeah, you can just think a little bit more broadly around. Doesn't have to be a tripod. It just has to, at the end, have the right connector, and there's lots of different ways of doing that. So,
thank you, gentlemen, and thanks, Jeff.
Yeah, I
Cool.
dropped one in chat, and it's
Okay.
actually next to me, so it doesn't have to be this tall. It can actually go taller, but I'm 6'1", so it's got a lot of range, whether you're sitting down or standing up. And even I can use this, like if I'm standing on a platform, I can still have it go much higher to wherever I need to be. So I mean,
is that like a lighting
way
stand
out
or
of frame.
something? Is it?
Yeah, this is by
Yeah.
iFootage, and
Yeah.
it's the base is like a mic stand.
Yeah.
But we have one of the prompters on here just because it's less to trip over in the studio. So it's got a
Yeah, it's
big
great.
round flat base. They're so
Yeah.
convenient. You can tuck them in anywhere.
Yeah, we've got ones like that called gravity stands, which are really, but they're
Yeah, those are awesome
they're
as
high
well.
end. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Those things do not budge.
No.
Yeah, I'm
Right.
6'2", so that sounds great.
Oh, there you go. All right, Dr. Jill.
Hello, I have an Obvio question.
What?
Um,
That's
I
amazing.
know.
Only 75 minutes
What the
in.
hell?
I'm sorry, we're no longer taking Obvio questions. You're gonna have to come back next week.
That was at the
Well,
start.
my event is Saturday, so I'd like to ask it now. And I
All right,
wrote
go
in
for
and
it.
somebody wrote back, but they obviously didn't understand the question. So, in regular Zoom, when I run a meeting or an appointment, I can turn on the transcript in real time so that I can see the transcript during the progression of the meeting. Obvio, I can't figure out a way to do that. And it's enough of a problem for me not to have it that it might be a deal breaker for me for using Obvio. Here's a use case. I have clients who have very heavy accents. I can't always understand what they say, but the Zoom transcript does a better job of picking it up. Or I want to go back and see something somebody said a minute ago. And so like, I really want to have that transcript on real time, not just downloading it afterwards when I get the recordings. Is there a way to do that? Because I couldn't find it.
So I've just turned on captions. If you look at the bottom now, can you see?
Captions is different. I want the transcript.
I understand, but let me just see if it achieves the same thing for you. So have you got captions turned on now?
Yes, and what you see when you do that is you see like a sentence at a time.
All right.
What I want is the whole thing,
So-
just like you can look at the chat. I want to see the transcript.
I totally get it, and there is a setting that's different. If you look now at my, I know it's small.
Hang on, let me pin you. Hang on a second.
Or we can spotlight it.
Pin. Okay.
So I think this might be a host feature to be able to see captions like this. So the difference between, and I totally understand there's a difference, right? The transcript is you can go back, you can scroll up, you can see it, you can, all of that. Captions, I've got captions turned on where I'm now seeing whatever that is, 10 lines or
Right, and I
you know,
see
a lot.
there's a bar that I can drag and see about
That's
10
right.
lines.
Yeah.
Um,
So I'm just exploring all the options. The reason that we have it disabled by default, transcript like that, is for essentially security and the idea of people stealing content,
Right.
right?
Is there,
And
I
so
understand why you don't want the audience to be able to see it. My question is there a way for me as the host to enable it for me?
I don't believe so. I think once
Okay,
transcript is available, it's available for everyone.
okay. I'd rather have
So
it available for everyone than for no one, but,
fair enough.
okay.
I
Um,
can explore being able to enable it just for your
That
event.
that would be such an amazing thing. For me to be able to do that would be a game changer. But in the meantime, being able to see at least the last couple of seconds worth of conversation is a start.
Well, yeah. So, and that's just captions. So,
Okay.
and I think if
Yeah,
depending on how big your screen is, yeah, you can sort of drag it up to a point, and then
yeah. Well, I would love to be able to have the whole thing visible the way, the way the chat is, but so if that, like, put it on the wish list for features, even if it's, ideally just for the host, but as an option for, just add it to the wish list. Thank you so much.
yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, there is a pop out as well, which I've just done, and so you can kind of see you can pop it out, but you still can't make it any higher than that. So that's the maximum height that you get.
When I pop it out, it went back to this thing at the
Small
bottom
again.
again.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
then you drag it around and you can move it and make it bigger.
Okay.
I think, Justin, was that on our list of options to be able to do? I have a vague recollection that it was.
It may or may not be, but I will also tell you that Aiden is waiting for you to respond with some help for the Zoom setting stuff that we're trying to enable.
Yeah.
So I will add it to the list if it's not there.
Fair enough. Yeah, I was just double checking language interpretation, sign language. I'll check for you, but if you Jill, if you could just send an email, I know you already did this, but if you did the
Another
help at
email.
OBV, then I'll pick that up and I'll track it down for you.
Okay, so send another email and ask somebody to forward it
Just
to you.
Yeah, but just about enabling transcription on yours.
Okay, thank you.
So I would. Are you on a Mac or a PC?
I am on a Mac.
Yeah. Okay. There are obviously this is by far the easiest solution, within Zoom, but there are ways of doing it where you can be getting a live transcript while it's happening. Some different software that can.
I suppose I
create
could,
that.
I could
And
probably
that's just for
turn
you.
on another computer and turn on Microsoft Word
You
with it or
could even do
something.
that.
Yeah, I'm on a Mac. I'm old enough that I had the original 128K Mac in 1983.
Nice. That's awesome. That's cool. Yeah, there's some
Grant,
software. Yeah.
You want to come back to your camera?
Oh, thank you. Yeah, that makes sense. There's some software. There's some. I was just trying to think about the live transcription. But yeah, there's some software that I use called Audio Hijack, which is able to pull audio from different applications, and they have a built-in one for transcription, but it's not, doesn't show it live. And so then I was just trying to think, but I know that there are others, and you're exactly right. You could just turn on any number of the services that would just listen to audio, and then you'd see what's going on. So yeah, I guess I get the idea. I wonder how it works in practice from a cognitive load for you. But
It's
I'm sure
nice
you've
for me
thought
to
of that.
be able to look at it. When I'm doing a workshop, so like I'm doing a workshop this weekend, I'll probably have, 10 or 12, 15 people there. And I have a friend who will be there who will be monitoring the chat. And I'll be able to see the chat too, but I'm going to have, notes. I'm going to have the screen. I'm going to have the chat. But it's just very helpful for me if I need to capture something that I missed. And especially, I do have, when I do my regular one-on-one coaching clients, I'm just in regular Zoom. But I definitely have some people who either I can't understand them well because of their accent, or they just said something and it was soft and I didn't quite catch what the word was. And it's just helpful for me to be able to look in real time.
Fair enough. Yep. Makes a lot of sense. Yeah, well, I'll have a look into it for you. All right. Any other questions? No other raised hands? Oh, Jeff. Hey, buddy.
Mine was raised, and then I think I ran my mouth about something else. I was wondering if you could show the enterprise screen. I was specifically wondering about permissions, kind of what team permissions are there versus pro.
No difference.
Like if you add a team member?
There's no difference.
Oh, there isn't. Okay.
No.
Good to know. Thank you.
Not in that answer, but there is
the
team panel that's
the
an
team
enterprise
access
Blue
panel.
that may help Jeff with some stuff depending on if he's looking for backend or just to get team into like rooms as co-host without giving full Obvio access.
Yeah, I didn't ask that question well. Team panel is more what I'm looking
Right.
at. We had talked about it on the previous call, but I wasn't sure exactly like what laundry list of features and stuff.
It's really it's kind of three things. Number one is just access in general, right?
Okay.
So you create a user, and it's all it's Obvio tag based, and you really can't have these be an attendee that also is registered through a third-party integration because it'll mess up the tags. So just something to keep in mind.
I think we
Okay.
fixed that. I think we fixed that because it was wasn't it case sensitive?
I highly doubt we did, because that's not what I'm talking about.
It is still case sensitive.
Yeah, I think it's still case sensitive, but beyond that, it's if your attendee that you've applied tags to is also an email address that is being synced with Keep or HubSpot, those tags that you manually put into Obvio will get overwritten.
But what I meant by fixing it is that you put them into the CRM.
Sure, if that's what you call fixing it. And that will work. And that will work for. I'll go one step further. That'll work for the applications or the integrations that use plain text as the tag. It won't work for Keep, as an example, because Keep uses tag IDs. So I would say like your one size fits all. Jill, don't worry about this unless you're going to spend an extra $3,000 to upgrade to enterprise. You're never going to use this feature anyway, so stop listening. But bottom line, you apply the tag inside of Obvio to an attendee who is not somebody you sync. Okay, and so you've got the team tag with a capital T that gives them access to actually see the panel. Then you have, so that's feature number one. Feature number two is, do you want them to be able to be a co-host or a host of the room that you're giving them access to? Co-host would be team co-host with T, C, and H capitalized, I believe. Team host would be one word with T and H capitalized. And the difference between host and co-host is if they're at, it's not just a Zoom feature, because I know you're like, thanks, Captain Obvious. It's actually not just a Zoom feature. Co-hosts cannot start a room that isn't already started. Hosts can. So if they're marked as a host, they can actually start a room that isn't already started, and it'll toggle the room on. It won't do anything to the area, but it'll toggle the room on and start the room simultaneously. So it'll do both if they're a host. And if they're a host and they're the second person in, they're still a co-host once they get into Zoom. The third, so that's the second thing that it does, right? So you've got access type, and the third is what areas do you want them to have access to? So again, team, and then the first word of the area name. So let's say you're using main stage, it would be team main, one word. And that will give them access to be able to see all of the rooms inside of the main stage area. I believe Team AAA, I think that's it, gives them access to all areas. So Team AAA, if you want somebody to just have access to all the areas and it doesn't matter, that's how you would do that.
Okay.
So it's all driven by tags, Jeff. And there you go.
Cool. And then this page here, is this exactly the same, or are those two separate panels? Are there any more features here?
That is exactly the same. So the team what we're talking about right now is the team access panel that shows up on the attendee dashboard. What you're talking about and what you're showing on that screen is the team management or team roles screen, and those are identical. There's no difference.
Okay, gotcha. We're talking two different panels. That's what I was trying to understand what that visually looked like.
No, totally. That was the answer to the first question, which is there's no difference.
Okay. Cool. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you can see here, Jeff, team main, team co-host meant that when I log in as that person, they see this. So now I gave them access to main stage area, and so they can see this room, and it shows that it's online, and they can join as an attendee or they can join as a co-host. And so if we then did two changes here, team host and team, get rid of that one.
Yeah, it's funny. I don't actually think you need to get rid of team main, incidentally.
No, it wouldn't have. No, it would have.
Yeah.
It was it was just redundant.
Yep.
And so now I can see all areas because it was access all areas. And if I went to one, it's not online. It's not started. I can start it because I'm host. But if it was just co-host, I wouldn't be able to start it. It would say meeting not started.
Gotcha. Okay, cool.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. Appreciate the demo, guys.
No worries. Cynthia.
Hey guys, how are you?
Hey, good, thank you.
Good. So, I have a question. I hope that you guys can answer it with some degree. It's about CRMs, and I'm almost at the threshold for my MailChimp plan, which I've used forever. I know the templates are crappy and outdated or whatever. So I've been making a thing in Canva and then putting it in MailChimp. But anyway, have a friend who's been helping me the last month or so, 2 months, and she wants me to consolidate everything into one program, like a all-in-one. And I think I heard in our mastery yesterday that OB is going to direct connect to ClickFunnels. No, it's not. Okay.
I mean, Obvio connects.
Obvio.
I know. I'm sorry about the same names. Obvio does connect to ClickFunnels already, so you can use ClickFunnels as an all-in-one. It also connects to Go High Level, so you could use GHL. You could also use any of the rebranded GHL accounts, like sub-accounts that are branded by somebody else, like mastermind.com as an example. So yeah, all of those potentially work. And what I would also say to you, just as a starting point, Cynthia, at any stage of your business, moving everything from one platform or from multiple platforms into another one is an undertaking.
Yeah.
Right. Well, that's kind of why I want to do it now while it's not so huge, with the idea that it's going to keep growing. So rather than wait, because I think I have maybe 100 spots left in my MailChimp before I have to upgrade it to a bigger plan. And then, so anyway, so that's kind of my thinking, but I was looking at Mastermind, I was looking at ClickFunnels, I was looking at Catalyst. So I don't know if anybody has any suggestions or sort of leanings. I've had ClickFunnels before and have never gotten to the point where I could actually build a funnel. I did jump into Mastermind on a 14-day free trial, and I've already built like 3 funnels in a short couple of hours.
Awesome. Mastermind.com
That's
is
your
based
answer.
on top of, Mastermind.com is based on top of Go High Level. If you're comfortable with it, go with it.
Yeah. Okay. So the only thing with Mastermind is anything that you sell with them, you have to give a 30-day money back guarantee. So if I do a 6-week coaching program and I have to give a 30-day money back guarantee, that kind of doesn't really work.
Are you sure?
According to, the contract, Dean he even did a welcome video and said, hey, this is our rules. It's to keep the best etiquette or whatever. Yeah. I can try to find it and send it to you.
I don't need to see it.
Even on the funnel page, it says right at the bottom there's a 30-day guarantee, money back guarantee.
Yeah, but that's a text page that you can delete, right? I mean,
but it says it was one of the requirements when you signed up that you have to give a 30-day money back guarantee.
Well, then I'll say it this way. If you liked mastermind.com, then go to gohighlevel.com and sign up there. And it's the same platform.
Okay, there we go.
There you go.
Yeah, or I'd reach out to their team and confirm. Yeah, I'd reach out to their team and confirm that though. How I would ask it is this: I'm selling a coaching program, not a digital product. Do I still need to give a 30-day guarantee?
Okay, great way to put that. And so
it's specific. I can understand them saying, listen, if you're going to sell a digital course on our platform, we want there to be a 30-day guarantee. And honestly, I think that's probably good sales tactics anyway.
Good practice. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And the reality is you're probably going to give a refund to anybody who asks you for one anyway.
That's
right.
That's say too, yeah.
Yeah, so if that's the case, there's a few things to think about here, but I would ask the question, I'm selling coaching. Do I need to give a 30-day guarantee, or can I just follow the rules in my state? Right? So
right. Okay, got it. Okay.
That's the question I would be asking. Hey,
okay, great. And does anybody know, if Go High Level has a online calendar where people can book appointments with it or in it?
Yes.
And
yes,
it does. Okay, because Catalyst is impossible. It's more that they book consultations, and I haven't really explored it in Mastermind yet. And do they have an AI component like Mastermind does, where you put it into Gigi, tell her what you want, and she creates funnel pages?
They no, it's not the same. I don't believe they do. I do think they do have some. Justin may be able to answer this more effectively than I do. I know that mastermind.com does have some AI elements and some education on top of the core functionality of GHL that's unique to GHL.
Okay.
Sorry, that's unique to Mastermind. That isn't available in the standard GHL account.
Is that some templates and things, or?
Yeah,
you
it's
know,
templates, it's educations, it's education. Their AI tool is unique and built on top of it. And again, I'm sure Justin can say things more intelligent than me. Hey, Grant, I'm sorry, I got to pop out of here. It's good to see you all. I'll leave you in Grant's more than capable hands.
Thanks, Blue.
Thanks, Blue.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, you actually put it into Gigi just like you put it into Obi.
Yeah.
And Gigi then spits you out a funnel page, and then you can go in and make it all the changes.
Nice.
It's super easy.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, it's funny because the 30-day money back was just to question you. What is your reservation about that?
Well, my only reservation, like if I'm doing a 6-week coaching program and I've done 4 weeks and the 5th week or the last week, somebody says, I want the money back. And then I have spent, however many hours coaching.
Yeah.
If it was an online course, that'd be one thing. Or for example, say if I do a one-off and I work with somebody and then they come back and say, oh, I wasn't happy with it, whatever.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, I've never had anybody do that in all the years I've been doing this, but I'm kind of just like, oh, that's really like.
And maybe there's a technical thing. Then it's not something that you plaster over everything. That's like 30-day money back, but maybe it's a technical thing that you could have it in fine print or something. But
Right. Yeah, I wonder if I could make the banner smaller or something at the bottom because they automatically put it on.
I see. Right.
And in the welcome video, Dean said that's these crazy. I don't know why that keeps doing that. I have it turned off. It's like every single emoji that's in there is going on right now.
Hey, look, Jeff, it's the demo. It's the demo of the emojis.
It's so funny. I swear to God, my Zoom is haunted because if they only come on when I'm talking about woo-woo stuff, right? We're talking about my readings, whatever. It's hilarious.
I mean, if you just knew a medium that could just get in there and sort that out for you, right?
I know, right? Well, it's funny because it happened recently in 2 of my readings with clients, and the emojis were perfect for the messages that I were delivering.
Oh, wow.
And they were like, oh my God, I cannot believe this is happening. It was wild.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was wild.
Do you know what's going to happen before they come?
No, they just show up.
No.
It was so crazy. I was talking. Oh, I get it. Funny. That went right over my head, Jeff.
Here come the emojis.
That went right over my head. No, I can only read my daughter's mind.
Nice.
I can't read Zoom's mind.
Yeah.
But she says she has to wear a tinfoil cap around me. But yeah. Anyway,
it does. Really how much is Mastermind? I don't know.
It's $97 a month.
Oh, it's basically the same as
so it's basically the same as ClickFunnels, Go High Level. Yeah, and you get all the extra stuff with it. So that's why I was like, it kind of seems like a no-brainer to go with Mastermind.
Right.
But like I said, the only thing kind of concerned me is the 30-day, just for like my short stuff,
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
I'd send them an email and ask them about it, as Blue said. But I think you'll be happy there, and it's a massive upgrade from MailChimp, as you said.
Yeah.
MailChimp was a email list provider that's trying to do a couple of other things, but not entirely successfully.
Right. All right. So that really helped.
But ultimately, congratulations for outgrowing it. That's good.
Yeah, thank you. Finally. Well, it's been disconnected from my website for I don't know how long, and I had no idea. And I'm like, you know what? I've had the TV show. I've got 11 episodes out there. People should be signing up to my email list because I know people are watching it. But I wasn't getting. So I asked somebody that helps me with that sort of stuff to look into it. Anyway, weeks and weeks went by and they didn't. So I just went in there myself and I figured it out. And I was like, well, that explains why nobody signed up for my email list because they couldn't. Right. So anyhow, So I did get it fixed. And since I fixed it, I'm getting actual people signing up for my email.
Nice.
Sorry, Justin. I think Justin was going to say something.
So as you've been talking, I've been looking at this, and it looks potentially like they might have like a seller platform inside of Mastermind that you could put your product on to sell. And on that platform, they require the 30 days. Because that's basically Dean putting like a marketplace together where I could put a product, you could put a product, Blue could put a product, and people could buy through there. But nowhere in there is there for things sold on your website directly. Is there any requirements that you have to do refund policies? It's up to your business when it goes from your website. It's only on the marketplace that requires the 30 days.
Okay. So then I guess my question would be, how do I get it once I make the funnel? How do I get it out of Mastermind? And do I just publish it? But and then where does it go? Where does it go to?
So from your account, the funnel builder just has that as a block as part of the template. You can remove any of the blocks, update the blocks.
Okay.
So you just got to decide, am I removing it? Am I changing it to something that's less than 30 days? All just depends on what your business policy is.
Right. Well, and like when I'm going to be doing some free webinars, so I don't want to do a 30-day money back guarantee on the funnel page. That's looks dumb. Yep. You know, kind of thing.
Yeah, just roll over that section. You'll see some icons that come up on the left and the right, and sections. I believe the delete box is on the right side. You just delete the section.
Okay, yeah, I can figure that out because I've already deleted and added things and that sort of thing. But then like the one thing I have to find it. So when I hit the publish button, where does the funnel page go then?
It depends on how you set your go high level. Yeah, it depends on how you set your go high level in Mastermind up. As far as domains, typically it's hooked up to a domain. I don't have mastermind.com myself to know. Do they give you some kind of like a default domain? I know my agency gave a default domain if I didn't bring one. And so they might do the same thing, but inside of Go High Level, you can hook your domain up. So I could go to cynthia.com/ whatever your webinar is or whatever your website name actually is, or any domain
it's my name.
You can hook up. Yeah,
okay.
You can totally hook that inside of Go High Level. You could put a subdomain on there.
Okay. All right. I guess I'll have to research that a bit further. I don't recall seeing they actually do an onboarding. I'm going to do an onboarding call on Friday with them, so I can ask them that question. That's the other thing. You get a free onboarding call. It's kind of like a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, I've had MailChimp a couple of times. I mean, ClickFunnels a few times, and I could never get to the point where I could connect the money checkout to it and then actually get in and build the funnels. So I was like, and plus for the $97, you don't get like people can't book appointments or anything like that. It's just sort of like basic. You don't get much for $97. So, all right. Well, this was super helpful. Thank you.
No worries.
I finally had a question on Obvio Day.
Exactly. And Cynthia, help-wise, Barbara said that the chat help that's available inside of Mastermind is also outstanding.
Oh, great. Thank you, Barbara. I appreciate that. I know there's a few people in Leap that have Go High Level. So, I mean, Mastermind and use GG. So that was kind of like, oh, well, let me try it out. Okay, awesome. Thank you. I appreciate you all.
Good. You're welcome. Abigail. Hey. Let me unmute you there. There you go.
Well, the first thing I'll say is that, yes, I was with Mastermind for $47 a month for a long time. And I realized I obviously couldn't get the personal attention I need with Mastermind. And then I found Sage, thinking that Sage was Tony Robbins' wife all this time.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? So then I found out it was an acronym, whatever. I was like, oh, no. When I saw Mr. Cho and Sage Robbins go on stage for the first time, I was like, she is not the event planner. There's something going on. And I started to Google Sage and, she was on the stage for the first time. That's how I found you guys. So
There you
know that if you need personal attention, Mastermind's just too big. They mean well. They really mean well, but you guys are fantastic. Like there's a way to get to you somehow, right? And then you have like Justin and Jason and all these Amelia, like people who can help us that, whatever. So this is obviously a better fit. It only took me 3 years to find you, which I'm still angry about, but I'll move on. Okay. All during COVID, I thought Sage was like Tony's wife. Okay. My cheeks hurt from smiling. Okay, this is my question.
Uh-huh.
My question is, you have something because again, typical Abigail, right? I've been paying, Russell for his click CRM funnels, whatever, way before my time, right? Not needed right now, right? But he's cute. He's the perfect like demo for my girls, right? And all that. So I bought a CRM that I don't need yet. Am I correct when I say that like what you guys have will get me through a long time before I really need to, pay Russell again for a CRM? You have something in your, OB
In Obvio,
world, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yes. Yes and no, right? Like Obvio is not a CRM. But for people that just are wanting to get that first event off the ground,
right,
then you can do it because you can sell a ticket and you can, or even run a free event, and you can send emails out to the people based around that event.
How many can I send? Ready for my database. I have got 3,600 in my phone. Okay. Can I send that many?
So here's where it gets very specific and it'll be really clear for you.
Okay.
If you want to send an email out to your list, Obvio is not the place to do that.
Okay.
Because what you're sending as that initial email that you're sending out is a marketing email, not a transaction email. Obvio sends out transaction emails, which means there is no way a transaction email is like a receipt, right? Or it's to do with something that you have done. Essentially, a transaction email is something that people are expecting to receive. A marketing email is a marketing email, right?
Hi, this is Abigail.
Right?
Guess what I'm doing now, right?
Exactly.
Okay,
right?
I got it. Okay.
And
so I do need Russell.
So you need something. You need a CRM, right? You need something.
Okay.
And so if that's ClickFunnels or it's Mastermind or it's whatever, you need something.
When I came to Charleston, I was very clear with Blue. Okay, Grant, you weren't there. I was very clear. I was like, my girls will think he's adorable. What would you do if you were me? He said ClickFunnels. So I'll do ClickFunnels. But when do I need to do that? Like right before I'm about to send the first email? Because I was paying $99 a month for like 6 months for no reason. Honestly, I wasn't there yet, right? So when should I start ClickFunnels CRM?
When are you going to start? When do you need to send an? When do you want to send your first email?
I paid for your J Studio. Okay, so at some point they're going to make me do it. I'm in no rush. I'm terrified. Like, I'm the last person. That's all I said. I'll pay for it, but make me your last person. So I don't know, like what they said, 3-4 months. I should start marketing, right? Right before I launch.
Yeah. So I think if you're looking for an excuse not to do it, then stop paying the $99. Right?
No, I stopped already. I love you. When I met Jason, he's like, "Stop! You're not ready." Yeah.
If you're if you're looking for something that is going to keep you in and making it happen and you're learning about it, then just do it. Like
Do
do
it
it.
3 months
Get it
before
set
I
up.
want to do an event, right? 3
Yeah,
months
because
before. Okay.
you want to warm up your list, right? You want to get that list working
Start
well.
telling them.
Start sending
Okay.
some newsletters, things, or whatever, and
Okay.
and start getting that active, and then you're
Okay.
ready to go. Plus, the thing is
Okay.
that your CRM tool is critical for your whole
Okay.
business, and so
Okay.
you want to be super clear about how that all works. And so get in there, start learning it, and just know. Don't think of it as a $100 a month. Think of it like as a $1,200 business expense for the year, and this is what you just sign up. You're locked in, and now that's a tool that you've got for the year, and that's a key business expense.
Okay, I love you. That's all I needed to know. Now,
You're
my
welcome.
other little question, can I please
Yes.
ask one more? I
You may.
did the AI Advantage, experience with all the cloning and whatever. Yes, there's nothing I like better than to clone myself. But I don't know exactly what I'm cloning right now. Like, again, I know they're going to do it again for $1,000 or whatever. But am I like paying the idiot tax by not doing it now? And the other one I want to do is I keep following Barry. I can't help it. The bundle, right? The bundle of the mastery experience. I went to business school. I learned nothing. I literally drove around drunk guys. Okay. I learned nothing in UCLA business school. Okay. Like, I could learn something from Tony Robbins, I'm sure. And Barry, like I said, if I click on this with Elizabeth and Barry, I'm going to buy the bundle, right? And Barry said to me, Abigail, you can only do so much at one time. You don't even touch a computer. We had to convince you to buy a laptop, right? Like, I'm a corporate event planner. I can't do anymore, but I don't want to pay the idiot tax. Like, should I buy the bundle? I've got 3 years. It's 2 years, but they gave me an extra year. I don't know why, but should I do that now? And in January, do the mastery business thing that Barry's pitching and repitching and everything? Like, I don't want to waste my time touching a computer, but at the same time, I'm sorry. I've been doing stuff for 30 years. We never had clones. We never had AI. We never had, I remember the fax machine, okay, when it came out.
Let me say this.
What should I do?
All right. This is what I want you to do
It's too
first.
much. I can't
Just-
do everything, can I?
Okay. Just breathe.
Breathe. That's
just
what Barry
breathe.
said. Breathe. Okay. I'm so
Just breathe.
excited. I'm so lucky to live in this time period. Okay. I'm
So
breathing.
honestly, so hang on. Just
Yeah.
take
Okay.
3 breaths.
Okay.
And now that was 1. Tell me, what does your heart tell you?
My heart tells me to do everything and do as much as I can.
And do you
honestly,
know do you think you're going to be able to do that?
No way. I can't
There you go.
possibly do all this stuff. I can't sit down. Wait, it gets better. My dad just died. My mother's moving to LA, and I'm literally redoing my house as an event venue in Hollywood. You can't make it up, right? You can't. It's funny. I just gutted my whole house, and there's nothing left but the staircase. I'm not kidding. It's funny. But the girl around the corner gets $55,000 a month for The Bachelor. Like, I'm taking it, right? So
It's not
you
funny.
can't make it up.
It's not funny that you lost your dad. I'm sorry about that.
No, it's okay. He was 90 and a Holocaust survivor. He's like, make money, go faster. Like, that's the guy, right? You can't
So
make.
So when you stop, if you
Yeah.
ever do,
Yeah, no, I
what?
do. I'm trying to be relaxed right now.
Okay. What is the thing that you need the most help with right now?
Tech. Can I throw you my laptop that they made me buy? Can I just throw it to you? You can have it. I don't know why they make me buy these things.
So
I'm not kidding. I'm mad at Obi. I'll tell you the truth because this is your job. I need to talk to Obi, okay? I do not want to type. I don't know how to type, okay? They stole my computer. I didn't even know for 3 months. I own the company, okay? That's what you're dealing with. People like me, like entrepreneurs that need this stuff, but I don't know how to type. right?
So
If I could just talk to Obi, then I would have finished my homework for Tuesday. But I didn't because my flight was delayed and I couldn't open the laptop and figure out how to type. Like I had to ask Elizabeth, and Blue had to copy and paste something, and Blue was horrified, like horrified. I don't know how to copy and paste. I'm telling you, people like us have made millions of dollars.
so
Do not know how to copy and paste.
I get it. I get it.
You got it? Do you really?
The
Because
question.
it's serious. Okay.
So in the whirlwind that is this conversation,
Yes.
I find the initial question was about AI advantage. And
should I buy it?
When you're telling me that you're struggling with tech, you're primarily going to be doing tech stuff in
No,
AI
that's why I
advantage.
looked at the thing. It said 4 master classes where I have to type again. It's not going to happen. I'm telling you, Grant, it's
there you go.
not.
So
I
you know the
can't.
answer.
Okay, so I'm not going to do it. But boy, do I need a clone of Abigail. One that can type, okay? I just want you to know.
I could see
you're
it.
dealing.
I could see it
You
in the
should know
future.
this. You found the girl that ran studies, right? For 20 years, they've been studying me like entrepreneur. The first girl in YPO. It was me and a bunch of guys for 20 years, right?
It's hilarious.
And I was like, it's hilarious. But I'm telling you, we're the future. Just let me talk into anything and I'll get it done.
I mean, you can do that on computers and on your phone. You can type, text to type at any point. And same,
No, there's no
ChatGPT.
accidents. I'll figure it out. Whatever. We'll figure it out. You know what Barry said to me? She goes, you have a photogenic memory. I'm like, I do. Honestly, I do. If I care about it, I'll remember it because I don't want to type it. Nor do I want to carry a book, right? I'm Audible. I listen to Audible.
I don't think you need any other programs now other than Leap. I think
Well, that's why I was
you
asking about the CRM. I think you're going to make me get a CRM pretty soon,
I think
right?
you
Go
do,
back
yeah.
to Russell. Okay. All right.
100%.
That's all I need to know. Baby steps.
Yep.
I love you. Hang
Well,
up on me.
It doesn't have to. It doesn't have to be baby steps. You can do this fast, and you can do it with all of your energy, but be laser focused on it. Like Leap has never been better in the way that it's set up now for you to really go fast. So go fast, but go fast in one direction, not run around in circles, which is what will happen if you sign up to every mentor program.
Okay, I'm gonna just stop. That's it.
Just listen to
Cold
Blue and
turkey,
Barry.
stop.
Listen to
Okay.
Blue and Barry. Learn as much as you can from them, and then you'll move on to some other program, and you'll probably always want to have
Honestly, like my next step, I get it now. Like I've been around long enough, right? 6 pillars. Just make me choose 6 pillars. That's it. A method, right? Just to start. Pick one method. Start with.
Funny. You're awesome. You just, how did you turn off camera and microphone at the same time? That was impressive. Well done. You're muted right now.
Yeah. You are muted, Abigail. I do have a couple things to add for you, Abigail. A program that would be great for you is called WhisperFlow. It is a program that allows you to click on a box and literally you talk to your computer and it will transcribe it and stick it in whatever the box is whether it's a website, it's an app, like anywhere on both your phone and on the computer. It'd be great for you to do that.
It just needs to be very powerful to keep up with you.
Yeah, I've been using it here and there. They're
Yeah, it's
testing
great.
it out, and it works really well. Much faster than me typing, and I can actually type pretty fast, but WhisperFlow can actually do it way faster than I can. Just talking
Thank
to
you.
it.
I've been using my text, honestly. Thank you. And I love your wife, and I'm so happy that you guys are around so I don't worry about the tech. Like when it's time to go,
Exactly.
I've got it. Thank you.
All right.
Yeah. And then a couple other things I would tell you, and the worst thing we can do to ourselves as entrepreneurs is not make money. And we are all very good about signing up for the next program, looking for the next magic pill to take, what systems should we buy or not buy. And in the meantime, we're not making any money. And the whole goal of being an entrepreneur is to make money to support the mission that you have, support the family that you have, the lifestyle that you want. Figure
Now,
out what you
welcome to
want
my
to do.
husband. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, figure out what
My
you,
husband's like,
you
I don't
want to
want
do
to
and just
talk
go
about
with
it until you make something.
Yeah.
Like, you know?
And for you specifically for your CRM, I would start 6 months before your event. Because you don't
Okay.
have anything, you're going to need to get the setup stuff done. You're going to need to be able to warm up your list and figure out what do you want your funnels to look like. You don't want to be in crunch time, which is what 3 months ahead of your event would give you if you were just starting. So give yourself that leeway to figure out what you need to get set up, figure out what you want your funnels to look like, be able to test it so that when you get within 2 to 3 months of your event, you can focus on the marketing and not be trying to get your funnels set up correctly.
Okay. Thank you. I'd love the time. I thought 3 months was enough, but thank you.
Yeah. Once you have it set up, the second event, 3 months will be more than enough time because all the preliminary stuff will be set up. You'll just have to tweak the funnel that you have, and you'll be going. You don't have to warm up the list. You don't have to figure out how to get the list in there. Like starting from scratch takes a little bit longer.
And do you think I should do like a couple times on my own, like with you, or come to Arizona, whatever, you know, with you and Karen, before I do the J Street with J Studio that cost me a fortune? Like, should I do it a couple times first and then do the fancy schmancy?
That is totally up to you.
Okay.
I don't think you'll ever get a straight answer from anyone on that one. Like you ask Blue's like, come to the studio. You ask me, I'm like, of course I want to work with you and have you as a client. So come work with me. Like, but at the end of the day, it's what you're comfortable with and which one meets the goals that you have at the time that you have it. Both options are great options.
It'll definitely be my first time, wherever.
The ultimate goal is to run your event. I mean, at the end of the day, that's the goal, is to run the event and make some money. Whoever you go with, you run your tech, whatever studio you may happen to use, whatever CRM you use, your end goal is to have your event and make money.
Okay, sounds good. I'm in it for the long run, so it's time to share.
My honest opinion on whether you should do it yourself is that I don't think you could do it yourself. You're muted again.
Get it? Like, yeah, you know, I'll go to London or Australia with, you know, Adam and anyone I've met at OCM before I'll even touch a laptop. Do you get that, Grant?
There you go.
Like, that's what you're dealing with.
That's why I'm saying I don't think
Barry.
you could do it by yourself. I don't think
I love Melanie laughing. I see Melanie. She met me at OCM, and you know, I'm telling you, I will not touch anything. I will blow up the computer. I've got something that, like, I walk into an Apple store, they're like, "Shut it down. She's here." Like, I blow stuff up. I don't know what's going on. I did feel better when Barry couldn't get, you know, to screen share today, and everything blew up on our thing yesterday. I was like, good. It's not just me, you know. Tech stuff's gonna happen.
Do you know, Abigail, if I have a coaching moment with you, one of the things that I hear you say this a lot about tech, and it's funny, and you are funny. It's clearly not a strength of yours, but you continue to give it power by how much you talk about how much tech is not your thing. And so I would just encourage you. You know, it's not your thing. It's a weakness. There's no point playing to that weakness. There's no point pouring time into tech, but you continue to give it power by how much you talk about how much you're not into tech. So it's not your strength. Let's give power to the strength that is you. You are a force to be reckoned with. And so it's a strength of yours. So play to your strengths and talk up your strengths and talk about all the stuff that you're great at, and stop giving power to the negative about you not being into tech. All right. It's going to make a big difference.
Grant, coach of mine, I promise you, I promise you, I won't let anybody outside this phone call know how the truth is that I know it is like so not my strength. What do you call it? Level of incompetence. Okay. It's between you and me. But notice how I'm on all the OB calls, right? I am brilliant enough, and I'm saying that coach to coach, okay,
Good.
that
Yeah.
I am on these calls because I know I need to know who to hire. That's who
good.
I am. Okay.
Yeah.
So just don't let me touch a button. I promise you something will blow up. Okay. But I will be on all these calls because I love it. I am like a geek on fire. Like I was one of the first people in the 80s and 90s to have huge computers under all my interns' desks,
good.
right?
So good.
I love it. All my stocks in NVIDIA. Okay. I'm not dumb.
Nice. Yeah.
But you don't want me to
Clearly
touch
you're
it.
not.
You do
Clearly
not
you're not.
want me to touch it.
Fair
Okay.
enough.
Mwah, I love
Good work.
you. Thank
Great
you.
work. Well done. Well done. Cynthia.
Oh my goodness. First, I want to say, Abigail, thank you to your dad for his service. And it sounds like you had a really great life with him. It's it's a wonderful thing when we have that. And oh my, it's the first time I'm meeting you, seeing you. I am in love with you. Oh my God. Your energy
Me too.
is just so
I love
great.
you.
Oh my God. So one thing, when we have big energy, sometimes we do blow electronic things up. Yeah, we'll talk about that someday. But
I think it's true. Yeah.
It is true. I blew out a whole building one day after meditating and chanting for an hour. Walked in the building and everything blew up.
Doesn't surprise me. Honestly.
Emojis everywhere.
Yeah, emojis everywhere. So anyway, you got it. Keep going. You're in the right place for sure. But
Thank you.
so
I love you.
You're welcome. So my question back to ClickFunnels, do they yet have a AI feature that is built in?
I don't know. Yeah,
Abigail seems to think they do.
But weren't you just sold on doing Mastermind?
I am, yeah.
Stop asking questions.
Well, no, just because this thing of like they don't really give you any support. That's kind of like, oh well, if they don't give you support, then now. And I know we've got Jason for ClickFunnels.
Abigail was comparing two different things, though. In fairness,
Okay.
the support that we're getting right here is completely different to what you get with Mastermind. But then other people are saying Mastermind live chat support's amazing, and there's a heap of users out there and stuff that can make it work. And so it's comparing different things, you know.
Okay, great. So, that's it. I'm gonna I'm doing my onboarding call tomorrow with Mastermind and going for it. And good Abigail, if you have 3,600 people, you definitely need a CRM, especially if there's anybody in the UK, because you have to have that little button that says they can opt out for your emails.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you.
It's a law. Yeah, it's a law in the UK.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's any of those marketing emails need to have an unsubscribe. Yeah. And you actually want that too, because it keeps your list cleaner. There's no point fooling yourself that you got 1,000 more people than you really do, and all they're doing is deleting your emails every time. You actually want to know that your list is accurate. So, you want better click-through rates, and that's what will happen when you have the right people that are wanting your content. They're going to click everything you send them. So that's what you want. So.
Right. And Grant, can you come on my podcast, please, Coach Grant? That was wonderful.
I'd love to.
All right, we'll talk.
All right. So this was a fun episode. We managed to casually mention Obvio a couple of times, but we got to hang out and talk about all sorts of other stuff. So anyway, thank you, everyone. We're going to do it all again next week, and hopefully there'll be some Obvio questions, but we'll see what happens. All right. Thanks, everyone.
I'll try. I'm working on with Obvio. I'll try to come with some questions.
Nice. No, you did well. All right. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks. I took 15 months of AI classes, so I better be able to do something on my own.
Good work. Bye-bye.
See y'all.